A contestant who brought the American Idol judges to their feet has died.
Fame lit up Doug Kiker's life like a spark in the dark, but it faded just as fast. From collecting trash to performing on the American Idol stage, he sang with one purpose: to make his daughter proud.
Hoping I would find true love along the broken road.
That moment touched millions, but behind the spotlight, Doug was quietly fighting battles no one truly knew. Now, just 5 years later, he's gone, suddenly and without warning. What caused Doug Kiker's untimely death? Who was he beneath the fame? Join us as we look into this American Idol that just dies all of a sudden.
American Idol alum Doug Kiker has died. The singer's family confirmed his death on Facebook.
American Idol talent's sudden death. Doug Kiker, a former American Idol contestant, widely known as the Singing Garbage Man, was confirmed dead on Wednesday, March 12, 2025. His passing was announced by his sisters, Angela Evans and Donna Kiker Carrillos Ramirez, through separate statements posted on Facebook. He was 32 years old at the time of his death. The tragic news came just days after Kiker had reportedly been found on the streets of Denver. A concerned bystander noticed his condition and contacted emergency services, leading to his hospitalization. What happened after he was hospitalized? When exactly did he pass away? Stay tuned, the most interesting part is still ahead. Despite medical intervention, Kiker passed away soon afterward. At the time of the announcement, no cause of death was immediately available. Further investigation and an official autopsy conducted by the City and County of Denver medical examiner later revealed that Kiker had died from an accidental overdose. The toxicology report confirmed the presence of fentanyl, methadone, and amphetamines in his system, with additional signs of recent cocaine use. The medical examiner ruled the death accidental, indicating that the combination of substances led to a fatal interaction. In the days following his death, Kiker's family members took to social media to express their grief and describe the impact of the loss. They described Doug as someone with a vibrant smile who could easily make others laugh. Though he had faced personal challenges, he remained deeply loved by those close to him. His siblings highlighted his character, their admiration for his journey, and their heartbreak at the sudden loss. To support the family with burial arrangements and related expenses, a GoFundMe campaign was organized by his sister Donna. The fundraiser called attention to Doug's role as a beloved son, brother, father, and friend. The campaign emphasized the family's need for financial assistance in order to provide a proper farewell and bring closure during an incredibly difficult time. The message expressed gratitude for any contributions and support from the public. Doug Kiker rose to national attention when he appeared as a contestant on Season 18 of American Idol, which aired in 2020. At the time of his audition, he worked as a sanitation worker in Alabama. His story quickly resonated with viewers across the country, not just for his humble background, but for his heartfelt performance and desire to make a better life for his young daughter. During his audition, Kiker performed a cover of "Bless the Broken Road" by Rascal Flatts. His performance stood out not because of technical perfection, but because of its raw emotion and sincerity. The judges were visibly moved, with strong reactions from both Katy Perry and Lionel Richie. Richie made remarks about Kiker's courage, humility, and desire to prove his worth for the sake of his child. He emphasized Kiker's natural talent, despite his lack of formal musical training. After his audition, Kiker received a golden ticket to Hollywood, advancing to the next round of the competition. Although he did not make it to the finals, he left a lasting impression on the show's audience and judges. He was later invited to return for the season finale, where he performed the same song virtually, providing a heartfelt reminder of the moment that had brought him national recognition. Following his appearance on American Idol, Kiker experienced a brief period of media attention. However, personal issues continued to follow him. In May 2021, about a year after his appearance on the show, Kiker was arrested and charged on suspicion of domestic violence. The incident drew renewed media coverage and raised concerns among fans about his well-being and the challenges he may have been facing off camera. Despite this legal trouble, Kiker remained a figure of public sympathy for many who remembered his American Idol audition as a symbol of hope and resilience. His story had been framed around transformation and second chances, and news of his arrest served as a reminder of how difficult it can be to overcome personal and systemic struggles. At the time of his death, Kiker was reported to be homeless. His last known encounter before his hospitalization occurred when he was found in distress on the streets of Denver, prompting a passerby to call for emergency medical help. The details of his living situation and what led to his condition in the final days remain largely unknown, but the circumstances underscored the harsh realities that sometimes follow brief moments of fame. Doug Kiker is survived by 2 children, both shared with his ex-fiancée, Valerie Cook. His family has expressed deep sorrow over the loss and continues to seek support as they process the tragedy. According to statements shared online, they are focused on honoring his memory, supporting his children, and ensuring that he is remembered for the positive moments he brought to those around him. Kiker's death adds his name to the list of former American Idol contestants who have died young, reminding fans of the real people behind the televised auditions and performances. While his life was marked by public highs and private lows, his brief time in the spotlight had a lasting emotional impact on viewers and judges alike. His rise from a garbage collector in Alabama to a nationally recognized performer was seen by many as an example of the American dream in its rawest form. Without formal training or experience, Kiker's emotional sincerity and love for his daughter propelled him onto a national stage. The opportunity opened a door, however briefly, to a different life, one fueled by possibility and public affection. His story also served as a cautionary tale about the limitations of short-term fame. Reality television can offer exposure and instant recognition, but it often leaves contestants without the long-term support they may need to navigate personal issues or sudden public attention. Doug Kiker's journey illustrated the complexity behind such stories, the inspiration, the struggle, and the unresolved pain. Efforts are still ongoing to help the family navigate this difficult time. The GoFundMe campaign continues to receive donations from fans, friends, and strangers moved by Doug's story. Many have left messages recalling his audition and expressing sympathy for the children he left behind. For some, his story remains a powerful reflection of perseverance. For others, a heartbreaking example of how vulnerable lives can be despite public acclaim. His death has sparked conversations about mental health, addiction, and the realities many face behind the curtain of entertainment. Now, who was Kiker before fame? What was his life like? Let's dig deeper. Doug Kiker's early life and upbringing before fame. Doug Kiker was born in 1992 in the state of Alabama, where he spent the entirety of his early life. He was raised in a working-class household that faced significant financial and emotional challenges. His parents, though not publicly known by name, were described by relatives as devoted and supportive, doing their best to raise their children with strong values despite limited means. Doug was one of several siblings, and the family's close bond helped shape his outlook on life from a young age. As a child, Doug grew up in a rural environment, surrounded by the kind of hard labor and community-oriented values typical of small-town Alabama. There were few luxuries, and most days revolved around school, church, and family responsibilities. From early on, he was familiar with the realities of blue-collar work, often observing relatives who worked long hours just to make ends meet. These experiences instilled in him a strong work ethic and a deep appreciation for perseverance. Doug attended public schools throughout his childhood, but never gained public attention or recognition in academics or sports. Teachers and peers reportedly remembered him as quiet and reserved, but respectful. He did not participate in formal music programs, and there is no record of him receiving professional vocal training during his school years. However, singing had always been part of his private life. According to those close to him, Doug began singing informally at home and in church gatherings, where gospel and country music heavily influenced his early sound. Religion played a significant role in shaping his worldview. Raised in a faith-based household, Doug spent much of his early years attending church services regularly, participating in youth programs, and being surrounded by music rooted in spiritual expression. These early exposures to gospel hymns and emotional storytelling through song later influenced his raw, heartfelt vocal style. Though he never formally pursued music as a career in his youth, these community experiences laid the foundation for his later emergence as a singer. Throughout his teenage years, Doug Kiker faced mounting personal and economic obstacles. Like many in his community, he had to consider work over education at an early stage. By the time he was in his late teens, he had dropped out of high school and begun working various manual labor jobs to support himself and contribute to his household. There is no public record of him obtaining a GED, and he did not attend college or vocational training programs. His early adulthood was marked by a focus on survival and day-to-day responsibilities, rather than long-term personal ambitions. Doug worked in several industries common in southern rural communities, including construction, landscaping, and waste management. His most consistent employment came in the sanitation sector, where he worked as a garbage collector. The job was physically demanding and offered little public visibility, but it provided him with a sense of routine and responsibility. Despite the lack of glamour, he took pride in his ability to earn an honest living and support his family. By his 20s, Doug Kiker had become a father. His role as a parent added new meaning to his life and shaped many of his personal decisions. Though specific details about his co-parenting arrangements or the early dynamics of his relationship with the child's mother remain limited, becoming a father became a defining part of his identity. The responsibility of raising a child under difficult financial circumstances further solidified his resolve to keep pushing forward, no matter how limited the opportunity seemed. Despite his lack of formal training or performance history, Doug continued to sing privately. Friends and family members recalled moments when he would sing around the house, at informal gatherings, or while working. Music remained a personal outlet rather than a professional pursuit. There were no known recordings or attempts to enter the entertainment industry prior to his television appearance. He did not participate in talent shows, join local bands, or seek out public performances. There is no evidence that Doug had access to agents, studios, or local music industry connections. The world of entertainment remained far removed from the reality of his daily life. His environment offered few resources or platforms for aspiring singers, especially those from low-income backgrounds with no access to training or industry support. His life revolved around family, work, and faith, with music quietly running in the background as a private passion. Social media presence during these early years was minimal. There is little to suggest that Doug maintained a significant online following or posted videos of himself singing prior to being discovered. His path to public attention did not follow the conventional routes of self-promotion or online virality. Instead, his story was rooted in an ordinary life shaped by routine, responsibility, and modest dreams. Doug's early years did not hint at future fame. He lived largely outside the spotlight, defined not by ambition or self-marketing, but by personal resilience and devotion to his family. His background was not marked by privilege, connections, or artistic grooming, but by an authentic connection to the struggles of everyday life. These experiences would later become central to how audiences related to him, because before anything else, he was a reflection of the working-class experience in America. There is no indication that he ever received career guidance, mentorship, or structured artistic support during his upbringing. Instead, everything Doug came to represent in the public eye, honesty, vulnerability, and unrefined talent, grew out of a life shaped by hardship, service, and humility. His early story is that of a man molded by his environment, grounded, quiet, and driven more by obligation than ambition. Doug Kiker's pre-fame years remain largely undocumented in official records, but what is known points to a consistent pattern of hard work, family dedication, and emotional depth. These attributes would later shape how he connected with audiences, but in the years before any camera rolled or song reached the public, Doug lived as many others do, trying to survive, provide, and occasionally sing. Doug Kiker's Life After American Idol. After appearing on American Idol, Doug Kiker experienced a dramatic shift in public attention. Though he did not advance far in the competition, the exposure from his audition introduced him to a national audience. His story of being a sanitation worker with no formal vocal training resonated widely, drawing praise for his sincerity and unpolished voice. The media spotlight that followed created both opportunities and new pressures for the Alabama native. Following his time on the show, Doug returned home to resume his normal life. He did not immediately pursue a professional music career or relocate to a major city to capitalize on the attention. Instead, he remained rooted in his community, continuing to work and provide for his family. While there was an outpouring of public support online, there were no reports of him signing with a talent agency, record label, or music manager in the immediate aftermath of the show. In the months after his appearance aired, Doug participated in several interviews and virtual events. He spoke with media outlets and appeared on a few online platforms, reflecting on his experience and expressing gratitude for the encouragement he received. However, he did not release original music or commercial recordings during this period. There were no albums, singles, or extended play (EP) projects launched under his name. Despite having captured the attention of a wide audience, Doug remained outside the mainstream entertainment industry. There were no national tours or high-profile collaborations with established artists. Instead, he occasionally performed at local gatherings and informal events, sometimes returning to social media to share singing clips or connect with fans. His engagement with the public was limited and sporadic, lacking a structured promotional campaign or long-term visibility plan. Doug Kiker's life after the show was also marked by personal challenges. In May 2021, he was arrested and charged on a suspicion of domestic violence. The incident was reported by local news outlets and later picked up by national media. While details surrounding the case were limited, the event marked a turning point in how his public image was perceived. The arrest generated mixed reactions online, and updates about the legal proceedings remained scarce in the public domain. Following the legal trouble, Doug stepped back further from the spotlight. He maintained a low profile for a prolonged period and made few public statements. There was no indication of new musical pursuits or career development in the entertainment sector during this time. He did not participate in reunion episodes or additional reality television projects, nor did he return to the American Idol stage after the virtual finale performance. During this post-show phase, Doug also appeared to struggle with instability. Reports surfaced of financial difficulties and challenges adjusting to life after brief fame. Without industry representation or a stable platform, his transition from public recognition to everyday life proved difficult. His social media activity declined, and he rarely appeared in interviews or public forums after 2021. No formal career infrastructure was developed to support him in navigating the pressures of sudden recognition. In 2023 and 2024, Doug remained largely out of the public eye. There were no publicized musical endeavors, performances, or content releases associated with his name during this time. The excitement surrounding his American Idol debut gradually faded, and attention shifted elsewhere. However, fans who had connected with his story continued to follow his journey, sharing archived videos and messages of support across online platforms. While some individuals who gained brief reality television exposure go on to establish careers in media or music, Doug did not follow that path. There is no record of him producing original compositions, signing with a label, or engaging in songwriting partnerships. His talent remained largely confined to the initial impression he made during the show. Industry insiders did not publicly comment on his potential or future in music after his season concluded. Doug's post-television life remained centered around personal matters. Though information about his family dynamics was kept private, it is known that he had 2 children and shared parenting responsibilities with his former fiancée, Valerie Cook. There were no detailed reports about his living arrangements or custody status, but parenthood continued to play a role in his life, as noted in family statements. In the final months of his life, Doug faced increasing personal and health-related struggles. Reports later revealed that he was hospitalized shortly before his death after a passerby in Denver contacted emergency services out of concern. He had been seen in public appearing unwell, prompting intervention from local authorities. The hospitalization occurred just days before his passing in March 2025. At the time of his death, Doug was 32 years old. His story had come full circle, from a working man with no formal training to national television, and eventually back to the quiet, often difficult reality that followed. No official projects, music releases, or appearances were recorded in the last year of his life. The attention he once received had faded, leaving behind a private life marked by personal battles, family obligations, and periods of isolation. In the wake of his passing, tributes poured in from former fans, friends, and family. A GoFundMe was launched to assist with funeral costs, highlighting the financial pressures still surrounding his loved ones. The campaign referenced his sincerity, humor, and emotional depth, acknowledging that he was more than a former contestant. He was a father, son, brother, and friend. Doug Kiker's post-American Idol life reflected a difficult reality many face after a moment in the spotlight: brief public attention without long-term support or opportunity. His story remained one of raw talent and emotional honesty, but also of missed chances, personal hardship, and the quiet disappearance from a stage that had once welcomed him. Just like him, there are many other American Idol talents who have also died suddenly. Let's look into them. American Idol talents who died unexpectedly. Doug Kiker's untimely death earlier this year left a fresh wound in the hearts of American Idol fans, echoing a painful pattern of loss that has touched the show's community over the years. Like Doug, several other contestants once stood in the national spotlight, only to be taken too soon by tragic and unexpected circumstances. These artists brought joy to millions through their voices and personalities, only for their stories to end abruptly, leaving behind grief, shock, and memories of their time on the Idol stage. One of the most recent was Mandisa, a beloved singer from Season 5, who died on April 18, 2024, at 47. After finishing in the top 10, she launched a successful gospel music career with her debut album True Beauty in 2007, earning a Grammy nomination. She later won the award in 2014 for her powerful album Overcomer. In her memoir, Out of the Dark, she detailed her battle with depression, anxiety, and emotional isolation that led to severe health struggles and suicidal thoughts. Despite those dark years, she became a symbol of perseverance for many. Following her death, her representative asked for prayers for Mandisa's family and close friends as they faced the painful aftermath. Another shocking loss came with the death of CJ Harris, who finished 6th during Season 13 in 2014. On January 15, 2023, at just 31 years old, Harris died after suffering a heart attack. He had been rushed to a hospital in Jasper, Alabama, but CPR efforts were unsuccessful. Just weeks earlier, he had teased upcoming music, hinting at a hopeful return. His fellow contestant, Jessica Muse, mourned him publicly, remembering his talent, warmth, and frequent calls for advice. She confessed that she couldn't grasp why he was gone so soon, a sentiment shared by many fans who remembered the soulful voice that once lit up the Idol stage. Willie Spence, a runner-up on Season 19, was another rising star who passed far too young. At just 23, Spence died in a car accident in Jasper, Tennessee on October 11, 2022. Producers of American Idol described him as a true talent who lit up every room. His audition had deeply moved Judge Katy Perry, who praised his voice for stopping people in their tracks. Following the news, Perry posted a heartfelt tribute, calling him the purest soul and urging him to sing with the angels. The emotional outpouring reflected how deeply his spirit had touched everyone around him. Nikki McKibben, one of the show's earliest stars from Season 1, passed away at 42 following a brain aneurysm on October 28, 2020. She had placed third behind Kelly Clarkson and Justin Guarini. Her husband, Craig, shared the devastating news on social media, explaining that she had been kept on life support to fulfill her wish to be an organ donor. Guarini also honored her, calling her a fiery, soulful presence with an unmatched command of rock vocals. He reflected on the challenges she faced and how even Stevie Nicks once sent her flowers with the message, "You are the gypsy that I was." Guarini ended his tribute by thanking her for the strength, humor, and friendship she brought to those around her. On September 3, 2019, 26-year-old Haley Smith, who auditioned for Season 11, died in a motorcycle accident in Millinocket, Maine. Her father, Mike Smith, suggested the crash may have been caused by a deer, noting she was an experienced rider. During her audition in 2012, she delivered a folk-infused rendition of "Tell Me Something Good," earning praise from then-Judge Steven Tyler, who said her voice reminded him of his own era. Although she didn't make it far in the competition, her unique style left a lasting impression on those who heard her. Perhaps one of the most tragic incidents involved Idol alum Leah LaBelle and her husband, former NBA player Rachel Butler. The couple died in a car crash on December 26, 2018, after Butler lost control of his vehicle in Los Angeles around 2 a.m. and struck a parking meter before flipping into a wall. Both were pronounced dead at the scene. LaBelle, 31 at the time, had competed in Season 3, finishing 12th alongside stars like Fantasia Barrino and Jennifer Hudson. The loss deeply affected many, including singer JoJo, who posted emotional tributes remembering LaBelle's smile, voice, and unwavering faith. An autopsy later revealed Butler had multiple substances, including alcohol and drugs, in his system, making the tragedy all the more harrowing. Ricky Smith, a finalist from Season 2, was killed in a wrong-way car accident in Oklahoma on May 6, 2016, at the age of 36. Authorities said the crash was caused by a suspected drunk driver. Smith had finished 8th in 2003, earning praise for his strong vocals. Fellow contestants Clay Aiken and Ruben Studdard expressed profound grief over his death. Studdard reminisced about their time together on tour and in the Idol mansion, where they bonded over music and dreams. Aiken described Smith's voice as heavenly, now part of the eternal choir. On December 6, 2015, Marka Tate Lynch, a Season 3 contestant and former Mouseketeer, was found dead in his New York City apartment at the age of 34. The New York City chief medical examiner later revealed the cause of death as acute and chronic alcoholism. Lynch had once starred on the all-new Mickey Mouse Club alongside Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake before trying his luck on American Idol. Dale Godboldo, a fellow Mouseketeer, recalled Lynch's excitement to work on projects encouraging youth to pursue their dreams. Though he had suffered much, he remained a gentle, passionate soul who wanted to spread love and inspiration. His death saddened both fans and friends who remembered him as a vibrant talent and a kind-hearted man. Michael Johns, a popular contestant from Season 7, died on August 1, 2014, at the age of 35. Initial reports pointed to a blood clot in his ankle, but it was later confirmed that the cause was dilated cardiomyopathy, a condition that weakens and enlarges the heart. Johns had finished in 8th place and was widely admired for his rock sound and warm personality. His family released a statement expressing devastation over the loss of a beloved husband, son, and friend. Tributes poured in from Idol judges Simon Cowell, Randy Jackson, and Paula Abdul. Weeks later, a memorial service was held at the El Rey Theater in Los Angeles, with performances by fellow contestants and musicians such as Ruben Studdard, Brooke White, Graham Russell, and Steven Van Zandt. His wife Stacy described the event as a celebration of life filled with music, exactly the way he would have wanted it. Joanne Borgella, a top 24 finalist from Season 7, died on October 18, 2014, at age 32 after battling endometrial cancer. Borgella frequently updated her fans throughout her illness, sharing her journey with strength and optimism. Her family praised her unwavering faith and resilience, calling her a beacon of light. In addition to her time on Idol, she appeared on shows like MTV's Made and Monique's Fat Chance, and had a successful modeling career, signing with Wilhelmina Models. Her death was mourned by both the music and fashion worlds, who admired her multifaceted talents and inspirational spirit. Each of these lives, like Doug Kiker's, represents more than just a contestant on a reality show. They were individuals who overcame challenges, shared their dreams, and moved millions through their music. Their voices brought hope and connection to audiences across the world. What are your thoughts on Doug Kiker's journey after American Idol? Could more support have changed his outcome? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to check out the next video on your screen. You will enjoy it.